You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. A large part of our suffering is entirely self-inflicted. It is the quiet frustration of knowing you are capable of more, while your attention is scattered across 100 different places. Every day offers opportunities to move forward. Yet, many spend their lives watching, reacting, consuming, and waiting. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for certainty. But life keeps moving while you stand still. The Stoics understood a timeless truth: before discipline grows, excuses must be confronted. Before confidence appears, self-respect must be earned. Strength is found less in what you start doing, and more in what you finally choose to stop doing.
Welcome to True Stoic Journal, the path to inner control.
A surprising amount of human behavior is driven by an audience that does not exist. You hesitate to speak an opinion, start a project, or change careers because you feel watched. The imagination creates spectators. It creates critics. It creates judgments that may never come. The mind fills empty space with assumptions, and those assumptions slowly shape your decisions. You carry embarrassment from decades ago, mistakes at work, awkward school moments, conversations that didn't go as planned. But if you described them to a stranger today, nobody would care. The people who witness them are completely absorbed in their own private battles. What feels enormous to you is a distant memory, or no memory at all, to them. As Marcus Aurelius observed, we all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. The need for approval is an expensive habit. It demands constant payment in authenticity, courage, and freedom. No matter what choice you make, someone will criticize it. Peace begins when you stop trying to manage the opinions of others and start managing your own character instead. Lao Tzu said it perfectly: care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Discovering that nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are is total freedom. Freedom to make mistakes. Freedom to learn publicly. Freedom to change direction. Your character, effort, and discipline belong to you. The judgments of others belong to them. Leave them there. The deepest damage never comes from an enemy, a critic, or a painful setback. It comes from the private agreements made in moments of clarity, and broken in moments of weakness. The alarm rings, and a promise is postponed. The workout is delayed until tomorrow. The goal quietly loses its place. Each broken promise is a small decision, but the mind keeps a permanent record. Confidence grows from keeping your word to yourself when comfort calls in the opposite direction. Every completed task is a vote for a stronger identity. Self-respect cannot be purchased or inherited. It is earned through repeated acts of follow-through. Stop negotiating with yourself. Negotiating whether to get out of bed, whether to exercise, or whether to work drains immense mental energy. When a commitment is non-negotiable, decisions become simple. Disciplined people do not always feel motivated. They experience fatigue, boredom, and doubt just like everyone else. But they continue moving anyway. Principles remain, even when emotions fluctuate. Confidence is created through action itself, not perfect conditions. The greatest battles happen early in the morning or late at night when nobody is watching. Every choice to close the app and do the work builds an identity of trust. It is a strange habit to spend hours watching people you barely know. A few taps on a screen, and you are absorbing someone else's thoughts before examining your own. You step into the lives of strangers before entering your own day. This habit feels harmless because it is normal, but common does not mean wise. Life is built from small units of attention. When you give away your moments, you eventually give away your life. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your days are spent consuming comparison, outrage, envy, and triviality, it leaves a permanent trace. Constant observation creates passivity. You watch fitness content instead of exercising. You watch builders instead of building. You watch people live rather than participating in your own life. Imagine spending just 1 week without digital feeds. Mental space returns. Clarity returns. Stillness feels uncomfortable only because we use screens to escape reflection. Yet, the most important realizations emerge in silence. Internal mastery means your choices are stronger than your impulses. Your character, your health, and your purpose matter. Focus on them. Complaining is a hidden poison. It disguises itself as conversation, observation, or honesty. You complain about traffic, the weather, or aging. The words leave the mouth easily, but every complaint reinforces a negative lens. The mind learns through repetition. If you constantly scan for what is wrong, you become highly skilled at finding flaws. Internal complaints shape your experience more profoundly than spoken words. Reality is completely indifferent to your objections. A storm does not stop because you dislike it. Traffic does not clear because you are angry. Resistance consumes your energy, acceptance conserves it for intelligent action. Everything that happens is either endurable or not. If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. The burden grows heavier because of the emotional resistance you layer on top of it. Arguing with reality is a waste of life. Complaining and worrying frequently operate together because both direct attention toward what is unwanted. When circumstances become difficult, the search for responsibility begins almost immediately. You blame coworkers, family members, society, politics, luck, or fate. Yet, blame rarely improves character or discipline. The wise person becomes less interested in assigning fault and more interested in responding effectively. Energy that might have been wasted on accusation suddenly becomes available for growth. Many people spend years standing at the edge of their own lives. They look toward a future version of themselves that will supposedly be more prepared, more confident, and more ready. They tell themselves they need more money, more experience, or more favorable conditions before they begin. Yet life continues moving with complete indifference to those calculations. The truth is, perfection has delayed more dreams than failure ever has. A person can become so focused on preparing for action that preparation itself becomes a substitute for action. The illusion of progress creates comfort, but the reality of progress remains untouched because the first step was never taken. Tomorrow exists only as an idea. The perfect conditions exist only as an idea. Action belongs to today. Time does not pause while you debate whether you are ready. Nobody begins completely prepared. The person who succeeds is the one willing to start before certainty arrives. Starting changes everything because movement creates momentum. One of the quietest illusions in life is the belief that there will always be more time. More time to start, more time to change, more time to pursue a dream. Years pass beneath that assumption. Eventually, you look back and realize how much of life was spent treating time as an endless supply rather than a limited resource. The Stoics placed mortality near the center of their philosophy because awareness creates clarity. They understood that people waste precious years focusing on things that carry no significance. Petty arguments, grudges, and endless distractions consume your attention. Many people are not suffering from a shortage of years, they are suffering from a shortage of intentionality. Consider how often people guard their money while being careless with their time. Money lost can sometimes be earned again. Time lost never returns. Awareness of mortality is not intended to create fear, it is intended to create appreciation. When you understand the value of time, you become selective with your energy, your habits, and your distractions. Your hours are pieces of life itself. Treat them accordingly. Modern life feels incredibly crowded because silence has become something we actively avoid. The moment a few empty minutes appear, a screen is reached for. The mind is rarely left alone long enough to reveal what is happening beneath the surface. Stillness is uncomfortable because it leaves you face to face with yourself. Thoughts pushed aside reappear. Unfinished goals reappear. Regrets demand attention. It is easier to remain occupied than it is to sit quietly and confront what has been neglected. But avoiding these things does not remove them. Growth requires awareness, and awareness requires observation. You cannot correct patterns you refuse to acknowledge. This is not a condemnation, it is an invitation. Become curious about yourself. Why do you react the way you do? Why do certain fears hold so much power? Knowing yourself means seeing your strengths and your shortcomings honestly. While others remain consumed by constant distraction, develop the ability to pause, reflect, and observe. In that quiet space, the clearest picture of who you truly are begins to emerge. A surprising number of people spend their lives waiting for something outside themselves to change first. They wait for motivation. They wait for an opportunity that feels undeniable. While they wait, life continues unfolding around them. Passivity disguises itself as patience. Yet, many opportunities are missed through hesitation rather than failure. The future is shaped by what is repeatedly done, not by what is repeatedly considered. The Stoics understood that obstacles are not interruptions to life, they are part of life itself. Stop viewing challenges as reasons to remain still. The obstacle itself is the training ground where strength and resilience are developed. People build businesses during uncertainty. They rebuild health after setbacks. Growth happens in the middle of difficulty, not in its absence. Many spend years admiring the success of others without seeing the countless days of effort that came beforehand. Preparation appears ordinary while it is happening, but its value is undeniable when opportunity arrives. This is why daily actions matter. Small actions repeated consistently shape your identity. Identity shapes decisions. Decisions shape outcomes. Every choice contributes to a direction. Instead of observing life from a distance, become an active participant in shaping it, one deliberate decision at a time. If this message stayed with you, watch one of the videos on your screen right now and continue building a steady mind. Join us here to cultivate a mind that filters before it feels, stands firm without fighting, and protects its pace in a world addicted to instant reaction. If you found this video valuable, please be sure to like it, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to True Stoic Journal so that life-changing insights like these continue to reach you.